was the reaction just to being preseason number one in the conference?
Well, we were number one last year, which was most important because we won a lot of close games last year. We were 18-2. We won 2 games with the same shot by Zuby in the lane, a little floater. We won a lot of close games at the Garden. And for a team that didn't shoot particularly well, that was really exciting to see because we did it with defense.
Does it mean anything more coming from your fellow Big East coaches, though? I know, obviously, there's a lot of...
I really don't pay too much attention to prognosticators because, especially in this day and age, I don't even know the names of the players from the other teams because they all change so much. We have 10 new players. So I think it's a guess. Everybody's guessing. I think if you look at Florida and you say, okay, 3 front court players back from the national championship, 2 outstanding backcourt players, I think you can figure them out a little bit, but it's tough for the rest of us. Connecticut, you can figure out a little bit. They've got 3 starters back. You know, I think it's exciting. Xavier, he's going through the same thing I went through my first year. He's having to bring in 13 new players. Nobody stayed, and that's difficult. So he's going to have a difficult season, but that's to be expected when you have 13 new players and you're just starting out. The good thing is he's at Xavier, great basketball tradition, great arena, great city, and he's in the Eastern time zone, which is what we all like in our family.
Rick, Bryce, first team, not here today. Just, we talked the other day about trying to get that Marvel mentality out of him. I've seen that since you made that comment.
Bryce has been great the last week. Played terrific in the opening exhibition game. He'll start out against Michigan. His body looks great. He's lost a lot of weight. He's toned it down. He's shooting the ball well. So he's playing good basketball. I think he's very confident.
Rick, the rivalry with Connecticut has sort of grown into something pretty big over the last couple of years. They're number 4 nationally, you're number 5 nationally. They come here and you guys are pretty ahead of them. Can you sort of describe the intensity about the feelings the 2 programs have for one another?
Well, their fan base is like Kentucky. They're the Kentucky of the East as far as their fan base. But I don't consider Connecticut any more of a rival than Villanova, Providence, or Marquette or Creighton or any of them. I think their fan base makes them very special because they travel bigger than anybody else. That being said, we've got great respect for them. We've had some great games, even in the Garden Big East when we lost 95-90 and they won the national championship. So they're a big game for us, but no bigger than Providence, Villanova, or any other teams. Georgetown is a much improved basketball team. Providence is a much improved. DePaul. The Big East is different, much different than last year.
You think capable of getting more than 5 teams into the...
Well, I don't know about that because I haven't seen them play. I know from what people have told me seeing Georgetown, they're one of the most physical teams that they've watched. They tell me that Providence is much better. DePaul's much better. Villanova's much better than last year, according to other people. I haven't seen them personally.
Rick, when you signed Zuby your first year, did you envision someone that didn't play that much at Kansas developing into the Big East preseason player of the year?
It's just good coaching. Now, Zuby has worked really, really hard. Every player I've had that reaches this level has an incredible threshold for work, and he has an incredible threshold for work. But what I told him was he's now a marked man. He's now a great defensive end, suddenly who got to the quarterback all the time, suddenly being blocked by 2 or 3 people. And it's a new thing. And I told him a story about Michael Jordan. When I coached against him, Michael would take the first quarter and distribute the basketball and make sure everybody got their shots. And then the fourth quarter, he'd scored 35 points. And I told Zuby to let the game come to him early on. He's going to be a marked man, get the other guy's shots, distribute the basketball, and finish the game in the final 5 minutes in high fashion.
Hey, you mentioned that after the last game that like Zuby is the marked man now. Given what you know about his personality, how do you think he's going to do with the adjustment to being the guy everyone goes after?
You know, not too much shakes him. He's a fun-loving guy, plays hard. He's not going to take, he's a great leader. He speaks as much as the assistant coaches in timeouts, and I've never allowed players to speak in timeouts. Not too much, and I give him as much time as he wants. I even give him the clipboard sometimes, and he diagrams plays. So I give him a lot of latitude.
Coach, UConn had 3 first-team All Big East players. Just what impresses you about those players just coming off last season?
Well, I love solo ball. He's terrific. Caravan has paid his dues, certainly, to be a first team. Who's the third one?
It would be Terrace Reed.
He's gotten, from what I understand of his body in great shape. So he's, all 3 of them can really play, and all deserving of being first team.
Hey, Rick.
Yep.
Behind you. How is Zuby's development?
Voice.
There's no room in front of you. Yeah, Zuby's development. You look at it where he came from not playing Kansas freshman year, being a backup his first year. Now he's the preseason player of the year. Does his ascension remind you of any specific guys you've had? Who've taken the leaps he's taken?
Well, remember, R.J. Luis came as nobody even knew who he was, and he ended up Big East Player of the Year. So Zuby has put in the work. R.J. put in the work. Player development is very important to us. He's a young man here that, this is his 9th school, and he's a young man who never played point guard before, never played the 1, and it's making him a much better basketball player, giving him a total understanding of the little things that go into that position, and he's improving rapidly and immensely, and he's got great size, a great game. So Zuby deserves all the accolades he gets because he's a humble young man, handles it well, but he's a marked man right now. He's a marked man. His teammates better help him. I feel sorry for him.
Rick, with Bryce, putting him in the starting lineup against Michigan, was that about what he did in the first game? Was it about what he did in practice, or was it a matchup?
I think you're going to find the starting lineup changes constantly with this basketball team on matchups. If we're going against a big team, we'll play a big lineup. If we're going against a small team, a small lineup. You'll know who I think the 5 best players are with 5 minutes to go in the game. And these 2 guys will definitely be on the court.
Rick, do you know what your starting lineup for Michigan is going to be?
I do.
What is it?
I'm not telling you. Now, it's going to be Zuby, Oziah. Actually, I don't know. Zuby and Oziah and Bryce will definitely start. I don't know who the others. Do you know who you want to start?
Oh, that's not a question for me.
Oziah, do you want to?
It don't matter to me.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Rick, do you think that Mitchell has earned another start?
I don't know. We'll see. I don't think it's important. That's the only reason starting to me is the most unimportant thing. I almost like it sometimes when a player doesn't start because he doesn't get a cheap foul. Referees like to set the precedent early on and call a cheap foul to set the tone, so to speak. So I almost like it when one of the good players does not start.
Rick, when you got here, it was important to you to add more games here at the Garden. You've been able to do that over 3 years. What does it mean to have most of your schedule here?
Well, remember, it takes 13,000 people around that number to break even for St. John's. And St. John's was averaging, they were playing 6-7 games a year, and they were averaging 5,000-6,000 people. So they were bleeding financially. Now we're getting 19,000 people, and they're making money. And I think we're playing 12 or 13 games this year, including an exhibition game. I'd love to see someday us play 15, 16 games in the Garden. The difficult task is obviously with the Knicks and Rangers is getting the dates.
Have you ever been part of a year like this where both St. John's and the Knicks have expectations to go deep, maybe win it all? Both teams haven't really been that good at the same time.
Maybe in the 70s there were, when we won the championships. I think it's great. It's exciting. I'm a big Knick fan, obviously, being an assistant and a head coach. I'll be at the opener tomorrow. I think it's great for both of us, and certainly we're really looking for. We have one of the most difficult schedules, and we're going to find out Saturday as well as early in the season where our blemishes lie, and that's why I made that type of schedule.
Is there any pressure that goes along with all those expectations?
I think there's pressure. There's a lot of pressure on my son Richard, who has a whole new roster. There's pressure on all of us in today's world, but we look at pressure as a great thing. You go out and you play golf, and you play a $2 Nassau. You play as if your life is on the line. You don't play for anything. You just go out and hit the ball. You could care less what you score. So that's just the competitive nature in all of us.
Rick, is it getting closer? Kind of, what do you think it's like having your son in the conference? And I know when it happened, you said there was part of you that wasn't thrilled about it because that's got to be a different thing.
Well, we look at it different. We look at it as a family. We now have our son in an Eastern time zone. I was joking before that God forbid if one of us in our family did not watch every single second of his games, and they watched all of St. John's. We would hear from him the next day. My wife all the time would lie about staying up to watch his game on the West Coast. I'd get up in the morning and tell her, boy, it was a close one, we won at the buzzer. Then she would immediately get on the phone, boy, that was so close, you won at the buzzer. But the rest of us, from my daughter Jacqueline, watched every single second. Now he's on the Eastern time zone. That's great. Great to have him in the league, and I'm his biggest fan, so it'd be exciting to see.
Rick Pitino, what is the excitement level going into the season? And after the win against Towson, the exhibition game, how confident are you going to bring that? Your team's going to bring that game in and game out?
Well, I don't have a lot of confidence from the Towson game, but it was a good win. We're a very confident group because they work real hard, but we're going to find out more about our team come Michigan Saturday.
When you found out that your son's going to be coaching Xavier, what's the excitement level that you're going to have an opportunity to see your son coaching Xavier compared to other teams that he coached in the past?
It's very exciting to have him in the league, and it's going to take him a while to build the program back up. He's got 13 new players. If you look at the all-league selection, you don't see any Xavier players, so it's going to take a little time for him to recruit the talent. Some like these two guys, it's going to take a little time to get these type players.
How important is the Rick Pitino effect, not just in the Big East, but the Pitino effect, not just in the Big East, but college basketball in general?
I'm not sure what that is, but
I'm talking about like the fact that you brought to St. John's,
yeah.
And the fact that your son's bringing to Xavier.
I hope he has great success. I hope he kills it. Won't happen this year, though.
Coach, how about the strength of the conference? Everybody's talking about it's a two-team.
I'm going to tell you right now, and I've spoken to pro scouts, Georgetown is significantly better. Physically tough, hard-nosed. So Georgetown is the real deal. Providence is much improved. DePaul is much improved. Certainly Marquette and Creighton are just as good. I don't know about Butler yet. Don't know much about Seton Hall. Villanova is much improved. They just won game by 13 points, and I hear great things about them as well.